All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to I'll Read What She's Reading. I'm Reggie.
I'm Kennedy.
And I'm Mikayla.
And today we are discussing we're having our first book club. Chatting about the very first book that we chose for our book club, which
in hindsight,
it's an interesting one.
Might not have been the best first book to choose, but here we are.
I mean, lots to discuss.
So much.
We're very excited to talk about it, but this is a book that the three of us read how long ago?
I think I read it like 6
You read
months
it like
ago?
right after
Or last year.
read it.
I think I read it like last February or March.
I know like Lennon was like a newborn, so it's been a while, but there's just a lot to talk about. So we're going to talk about Verity by Colleen Hoover. So if you have not read this book, come back and visit this episode once you've read it. But this was the April book of the month for the pod. So we are going to discuss.
Should we start with the synopsis?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you've read the book, I don't know. Should we give a synopsis?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Let's see. Let's pull
All
it
right,
up.
here's the synopsis for Verity. Loan Ashley is a struggling writer on the brink of financial ruin when she accepts the job offer of a lifetime. Jeremy Crawford, husband of the best-selling author Verity Crawford, has hired Loan to complete the remaining books in a successful series his injured wife is unable to finish.
I think injured is
Injured.
not quite the right word, but I don't even know where to start with this book, to be honest. This book was wild.
So much.
I literally forgot that from the very beginning of this book, it's kind of disturbing. Like when she walks out and a man gets splattered by a bus.
It's a lot.
It captures you from the first sentence for surezies. My jaw was on the ground. I was like, am I reading the right book?
Well, especially if you've already read Colleen Hoover books, like this was her No, did Layla come out first?
Well, Layla is
know.
considered paranormal.
Okay, so this is her first like thriller romance book.
And girl is
So
She's
knows
good
how to
at
write
it.
yeah,
She knows how to make it disturbing.
Colleen Hoover's mind.
I'd love to live there for a day.
Yeah,
I might be terrified.
Yeah.
I know.
So we decided that with this book club, we're basically we'll have for just a refresher, we'll have a monthly book club book that you guys can read, and then at the end of each month or the very beginning of each month, we'll announce the next book and we'll review the book, and we're gonna have you guys involved in future episodes. But for this week, since this is our first one, we're just gonna kind of go over some of our thoughts of the book and where do we want to start?
We want to start with so we're going to have like 5 questions, or was it 4 questions we had to kind of go over the book with every book we do.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll always answer the same questions, and then we'll kind of just chat from there.
Just chat about it.
I need to find it.
I need to actually remember what I rated this book, you guys.
It's something else, I tell you.
I don't think I even have it in my Goodreads.
I think I might need to change my rating of this book.
I think I will too, actually.
All right.
I was on a high when I read this book because I think this literally was maybe the second. I actually listened to this book, but it was one of the second or third books that I had read or listened to when I started to get back into reading. And I just thought this was like this revolutionary story and this amazing story. And now that I'm sitting here, I'm like, was I okay? Like, was I okay?
So, just a little disclaimer. I mean, if you're listening to this, you read the book. It is quite disturbing. There's a lot of elements to it that I didn't realize until I was refreshing my brain about this book, that I was like, oh yeah, like I felt a little sick to my stomach when I was reading some of these things, especially because I literally had like a 3-month-old when I started reading this book, and I was like, I need to put this book down for a second. I was not expecting some of the things that happened, but yeah, we're sorry if we gave you guys nightmares by picking this book.
Not all books are going to be this way.
Yes.
I definitely had nightmares.
We just wanted to like give you guys a gripping. We know a lot of you like romance. We wanted to pick one that kind of hooks you from the get-go.
Something a little different than what maybe you guys had all read. And I think Verity's something else. So
I don't even remember the time.
Okay, so she gets...
So
I don't...
a man gets hit by a bus. Her and Jeremy are in a bathroom together. Come to find out,
Jeremy's
hiring her.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, she arrives to the house and starts going through Verity's things in the office, finds a manuscript.
Oh, the manuscript. I'm remembering. I'm getting a refresher.
Shiz just
Hits the wall.
gets crazy from there.
I feel like... I mean, I don't want to just like jump to the end and be like, are you team manuscript or team
Why not?
whatever?
Go for
But I kind of feel like that kind of will set the scene for like what our overall thoughts on the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what team are you guys on?
Manuscript.
You guys, I was manuscript. And
So
then
when we say manuscript, you mean like just for...
I think Verity's a psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I read that bonus chapter, if you have not read the, like, I think it's exclusive to Barnes & Noble, isn't it?
Yeah.
Colleen Hoover released an extended version of this book, and it's at Barnes & Noble. You could...
Find it on TikTok.
Yeah,
That's
find it
what
on
we did.
TikTok somewhere so you don't have to go
Yeah.
buy the book. Or support the author and buy the book too, whatever you want to do. Anyways, after I read the bonus chapter, I honestly kind of think that Jeremy's a psycho. I almost kind of team Letter.
I know, but it's...
I think everyone in this scenario is psycho.
Oh,
So-
everyone.
Yeah, they're not okay. Yeah.
The thing that's hard is the bonus chapters. So basically, should we summarize the bonus chapters
maybe.
for
Yeah.
anyone? So basically, I don't know. I kind of skimmed it, TBH. So
Jeremy they run into someone they know from their hometown.
Yep.
And Jeremy is pretty much like, she has to be eliminated.
Yep.
And so Jeremy makes Lowen and crew go to the car. Well, pretty much Jeremy drowns her.
Yeah.
Was that
Yes,
a good
that's-
synopsis?
yes, yeah.
And they go back to a hotel. They
get it on.
get it on. And then I feel like Lowen kind of rethinks her life a little bit, but
Well, and there was also like a situation with like Crew and the baby because they had their
Yes.
baby.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so Crew, basically the baby starts crying and Crew is trying to watch a TV show or something and Crew takes the baby outside because the baby's annoying him. And then Lowen can't find the baby and Crew had just taken this little infant outside to fend for herself.
Oh my gosh. This book is wild. Honestly, I wish she wouldn't have written
I
the
agree.
bonus
Well,
chapter.
exactly. Well, and also, have you guys seen that interview with Colleen Hoover where
Yes.
they've asked her like, "Are you team manuscript or team letter?" And she's like, "I wanted to leave it up for everyone else's interpretation, but I think Verity is crazy."
Yeah.
I just don't see a sane person being able to write that stuff about her own children.
Oh, for sure.
And so I'm not a mother, but that was deeply disturbing. I understand she was not like a sunshine and flower author, but if anything, write that about some other kids.
Oh, of
like,
course.
Like that's so disturbing. And
There-
also, how did 3 of her children die? Like that's not an accident.
I mean,
That's not an accident.
Well, also, there was a girl. So Kennedy and I taught like a photography workshop, and I remember one of the girls at the workshop. Do you remember talking? Were you there when we were talking about this? We were talking about Verity, and she was like, "Oh, I'm team letter because." She's like, I'm a writer, and she's like, sometimes you have to put yourself in like a really like depending on what you're writing. She's like, I can see someone using that as for like method writing to do that, but I'm like,
as a mom, could you do that?
no. Like, and even if she didn't love her kids, and she's like, even if it's partially true that like, you know, she wanted Jeremy all to herself, but she still like, and she didn't. These things didn't happen because of her. I just don't know how you could write that about your own children.
I don't know.
Unless you're,
It's just all very deeply disturbed. Also, another thing with the letter, Sorry, guys. Once again, still haven't stopped coughing. The letter explained how she was waiting for her chance to leave and grab Crew. There was multiple chances.
You're right.
From that one bedroom scene, she locked them in the bedroom.
Wait, you're right.
And she could have left with Crew. It was just Lone and Jeremy in the bedroom. They could have left.
That's
True.
actually a good point.
So that's why I'm team manuscript. I don't know. Everyone's crazy in the situation. And also, wasn't it Jeremy who like crashed the car?
Yes.
So like, I don't think anybody's innocent in this book, and it's all just psychotic. But I think she's the most psychotic for
I think so too.
faking a coma for how long?
I
It
don't
was
remember.
a while. It was a while.
Anyways, we just went right into it.
So
Also-
wait, your team manuscript, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay.
Are you team letter,
I
then?
respect your team letter.
Yes,
Well, I
yes, but no. Like
I mean, I can see why you would after reading the bonus chapters.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's even like a partial truth to it. Like,
I just genuinely wish she wouldn't have released the bonus chapters because I just
Same.
feel like it almost made me not like the book.
Yeah.
same.
Like it kind of ruined the book for me a little
Yeah.
bit.
So maybe don't read the bonus chapters if you
Yeah.
don't want to ruin it for you, even though we already told you how.
Okay, well, I mean, we kind of just went straight to the end, but like, did you guys have a favorite part of the book?
It was a joke.
What's your joke?
I was gonna say the headboard moment.
Oh my
but I'm totally
gosh.
joking.
I
The
forgot
teeth
about
marks.
that. When
Yeah.
she put her teeth mark like she. Oh.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Lowen is also not okay. Literally, everybody is not okay.
Yeah, I told you, literally no one is okay. They need help.
They need a
Serious
therapist.
help.
Everyone needs a therapist. I think I remember like actually really enjoying reading about Verity and Jeremy's relationship when they first met.
Yes.
I would say that's probably my favorite part because everything else is just so.
If that's the true story.
Yeah.
Because we only hear it from the manuscript side pretty much.
Wait, but
Right?
I feel like we do hear a little bit of perspective from Jeremy, do we not? Or am I making it up in my head? Because when she brings
maybe
it
I'm wrong.
up,
I don't
I
remember.
feel
So basically in the manuscript, from what I can remember, she portrays it as like they meet, they both realize they don't have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
They fall in love. She's completely obsessed with him. And once she falls pregnant, he's just like, she thinks it's the worst thing ever, but he's like, oh my gosh, I love that we're having a child.
Mm-hmm.
And so to her, she's just jealous of her
The child-
kids
that
the
is
whole time
messed up.
because she's like, I want him all to myself. I'm so obsessed with him.
I can't remember. I feel like, unless I'm just completely making this up in my head, but I feel like we do get a little bit of perspective from Jeremy when she brings it up to him. Do you remember that
I
situation?
could see it happening.
I can't remember. It's been a while. Sorry, we tried to refresh our brains on it a little bit, but sometimes those little details are
We will be live reading all of the next books.
live reading.
I just
Yeah.
I loved the moment where they met at the bar and then they go to this limo
The limo.
and because she thinks he's rich, come to find out it's not even his limo and they're both just dirt poor. Like, I
Yeah.
just think that's
Yeah.
cute. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just loved that, but then everything else was just kind of downhill from there. So, what about you guys? Did you have a favorite moment?
Well, okay, maybe favorite moment is the wrong word. What about like the most shocking?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
Maybe that's a better word
Yeah.
because this, I feel like it's hard to have
Yeah,
a favorite
yeah.
part. I think what you said was literally the only favorite
like
part.
the only happy part.
Yeah.
though.
that you can have.
Uh-huh.
So shocking. I'll just say mine real quick. The most shocking part to me that I knew things were like going down is when Crew cut himself and they went into the bathroom and she went back and the knife was gone.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
she's faking it. She's faking it. Like, that's what I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Let's rally.
Or when they're like making out on the couch and
Oh
she's standing at
my
the top of the
gosh.
stairs.
I think I lost
Excuse me?
my mind. I forgot. How did I forget that? That's literally
There were so many moments where I literally audibly was like,
literally
racing. You're like,
I listened to this book and if anybody saw me driving, I was like like hand gasp, like wide eyed. They'd be like, "What is wrong with her?
Is there something on the road?"
I'm like,
I also remember, like, I listened to it while I was driving too, and I remember I was at a stoplight. And it's literally talking about the scene where she's trying to suffocate her baby.
Oh.
And I just remember sitting at the stoplight, and I'm like, I think this car next to me can hear this. So I like remember turning it down because I'm like, I don't want them to think like, what is this chick listening to in her car?
Yeah, there were so many moments that I literally wanted to vomit while I was reading this. So I'm sorry that we put you through that. But wow.
yeah.
The dark mind of Coho.
Oh, and then also the baby monitor.
Oh my gosh, yes.
She like sees her through the baby monitor and like runs up.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yes.
I don't
she was
remember
worried that he saw her on the baby monitor. Is that what we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, or when she gets the baby monitor from the basement and she puts it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she puts it in Verity's room, right? And then she watches. Oh my gosh, this is just
Okay, here's a really random
memories.
thought.
Yeah.
But you know how she has her little like hospice gal? Like
Yeah.
there's someone
Yeah.
that comes in and takes care of her?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that she didn't know that she was faking it?
I don't know. Well, everything still, like, your body still functions properly. I'm pretty positive. It's just like you're asleep. I don't know.
Well, if she would have, I don't know if they thought she was like a quadriplegic or if she was just like, I don't know. But you would have think a doctor would have done some sort of evaluation. And like, even if you're quadriplegic and you hit your knee, you know how you,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They would have known she wasn't a quadriplegic. But I don't remember if she was just like,
They think maybe she was just in like shock.
Was her eyes open?
Yes, because they would like have they turn the TV on for her sometimes, and you know, like crew would go in. I don't think she was always sleeping.
Oh, okay. So she was just like,
kind of like a,
Or maybe she
I don't know a
was.
respectful way to say it, so
remember.
like kind of like a vegetable almost.
Yeah.
I don't know medically.
That is the one thing. Sometimes with Colleen Hoover's books, there's like little tiny things like that where you're like, okay, but that's literally so not realistic. But I mean, you kind of just have to suspend reality when you read some books. But
I don't know. Maybe she paid off her
nurse
and was just like, just fake it. I don't know.
I don't know. That was just something that I was wondering. Because
That's a great question.
That's how I read books. I'm annoying, and I think of those little details. And I'm like, can you please just explain to me? But
also, how did she convince Crew though to not say anything to anyone? Like, how manipulative would you have to be to manipulate? How old was he? Like, what, 5?
yeah, he's pretty young.
I thought maybe he was even younger, like
Like, he can talk.
3.
He's like 5 or 6.
Because
Oh.
I think about like my
But-
5-year-old nephew, and I'm like, there's no way I could convince him to do anything he would.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't have children, but if like Verity was like, this is our little secret.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if a child could keep secrets.
I think Crew's not also okay. So
It's true. He seems a little
He
messed
has
up.
2 very
himself.
disturbed parents.
nobody's okay in this book.
Okay. So what was like your least favorite part of the book? Like, what made you want to throw up the most? Because Reggie, you
Honestly, all the stuff with the killing and
the kids.
yeah, I couldn't with that. I was not expecting that to be in this book when I was reading it. That was disturbing. I also
The boat.
what do we
scene.
think of what? Oh yeah, the whole boat scene.
The hanger.
What do we think of them killing her though?
I mean, I remember reading it being stoked, being like, yeah, kill her.
I feel like when I first read it too, I was like,
Yeah, like cheering for them.
I just felt like there
But
was
looking
so many
back
other
at it,
ways
I'm
they
like,
could have gone
no,
about it.
the way they killed her, not
No.
didn't love that. But like, I remember being so on their side. That I was.
How do we feel about her not telling him about the letter?
oh
Do
yeah,
you remember?
did she burn it or
She ate it.
She like ate it
She
or
ate pieces and then flushed it down the toilet.
so it's gonna poop it out? Okay. Jimmy's like, what is that in the toilet?
yeah, I'm pretty sure she like flushed most of it down the
And
toilet.
I'm pretty sure she ate part of it. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it was, I don't know. Okay, so there's 2 perspectives I could see where Lowen is just so done with like the manipulation because it was all very manipulating. And so I feel like it's kind of almost like a little like freak out, like I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then I could also see it like being psychotic, like Jeremy can't know about this. Like, I want him to only see like the manuscript side of it.
Yeah.
So.
But then in the case that like the letter was legit.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Do we think that Lowen read that and believed it? Probably no. I swear at the end of the book she says something like, did we just make a big mistake?
I think she does at the very end of the book.
Yeah.
Because even in the bonus chapters, you kind of see her being like, should we have, like, was this a good choice? I mean, I think part of the reason why she didn't show him was because she was worried if she did show him, he'd have instant regret and not want to be with her anymore.
Yeah.
Or she was scared of him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally was like, man, Jeremy, like, and looking back, I'm like, Jeremy, so many red flags.
So many.
Also, them just getting it on while she's just in the room above them.
All right, I'm going to be the first one to say it. Lowen's kind of a homewrecker.
Oh,
100%.
Totally. Totally.
But she's not alone. Like
no. Like, not just on her. No.
Yeah. But she is 100%. But also Jeremy acted on it as well.
It was.
100%.
It felt very premeditated.
Also,
especially by
like,
the fact when he met her in the bathroom and he's
can
all
we
like,
also talk about how he like handpicked her to write the books?
Yes.
Like didn't he read her books? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So he handpicked her for this. Like he's yeah.
A lot of question marks.
Leaves a lot of stuff in the air for sure. Yeah. So pretty much all of the manuscript made me throw up. So, and all
Everything,
of the very descriptive bedroom scenes, I skipped a lot of that. Especially listening to it, I was like, I don't want to listen to
The bite marks on the headboard. Come on.
No, it was I'm talking about the bedroom scenes that she describes in the manuscript, like.
Oh, like the Jeremy and Verity ones.
Jeremy and Verity stuff, like
Verity.
that was nasty to me. Like I was like that just
Verity's also just
she's nasty girl.
She is nasty. She would do anything for that man.
Well, should we get into our fan cast?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh wait, yeah. Or actually, let's do our star rating first.
A star rating first.
Like, what would you guys give us out of 5?
Okay, can I go first?
You
before
can
you
go
guys
first,
destroy
please.
me?
Why would I destroy you?
Okay, my rating was a 5-star. Reason being, it's not hard to please me when it comes to books. Like, I don't really sit and think about like little details. Mm-hmm. Sorry, gosh. I just like, I want a book to absolutely like jaw on the ground. Like I want to be stunned. Mm-hmm. I just want entertainment, and this was pure entertainment. I mean, it was very bad entertainment, but I was entertained the entire time, and I could not stop like listening to it. So I kind of based my ratings based on like how fast I finished the books, I guess, like how entertained I am the entire time.
Yeah.
If there's like a lag moment where I'm like, oh, this was hard, I usually rate it like 4 stars, or like there's a lot of lag moments, 3, but this one I was purely entertained the entire time. So mine was 5 stars.
I'm not gonna roast you for that.
No, I'm not gonna roast you for that either.
I think people rate it 5 stars.
Oh, I rated it 5 stars. I think if I had it, I would maybe change mine to 4.5, just for the fact that like there were just some of the elements were a little too disturbing to me, a little triggering. I don't like to I hate throwing that word around, but I didn't. And maybe that's like something silly to rate it like half a star for.
No,
like lower.
No, not at all.
But I'd say it was like maybe a 4.5, because even though there were other elements to it that I was kind of like, okay, I don't want to read about this, or I maybe didn't love like the bonus chapter part of that. If that had been in the book, that would have probably changed my overall rating. But yeah, like Mikayla, I was hooked from the start. I was turning pages. It was very gripping and entertaining. I hate saying entertaining because it was disturbing. But like, it was very gripping.
Yeah. I think
lots of jaw on the floor moments.
I think for some reason, I thought I rated it 5 stars on Goodreads, but apparently I didn't. I think I have it at 4.5, and I would probably leave it at that. I think the bonus chapter ruined the book for me, honestly. Genuinely. So without the bonus chapter, I'd rate it 4.5 stars, kind of for the same reasons as you. Just like a few of the stuff was just kind of like a little too descriptive, like, but it was so entertaining. Like literally, I think I listened to it one time when I was driving to Moa or to Arches and back in one day. I think I listened to it in one day.
Yeah, same.
And it made my drive so fast. It was unlike, I mean, not that I like had read a lot of books at the time, but even still, it's unlike a lot of books that I've read. And like, not that I think about it all the time because I don't, but like it creates so many questions and like a good discussion because there's so many elements to it that I feel like it warrants a high rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Although I do agree with this 1-star rating.
Should we read? We also want to, after we finish a book, go through and find our favorite bad reviews.
Rated it 1 star, and it says some people desperately need Jesus, and Colleen Hoover is one of them. I agree.
I just can't.
But like, it was still like, I mean, Colleen Hoover needs Jesus, but I mean, to come up with a book like that,
yeah,
a brilliant, disturbing mind, but brilliant nonetheless. Like, I did not expect the letter at all. I was like, yeah. Anyways, to come up with someone, it takes talent to come up with something like this. And I mean, it doesn't mean it's always the best talent, but like, obviously people were entertained, and it has like 4.25 stars on Goodreads and over 4.37 stars, and it has almost
1.8 million ratings.
So, I mean, I feel like that takes talent, but I agree with the review.
I do like this review. It's very long, but I'll just read part of it. It says, I just finished Verity and wish it were possible to open up my skull, take out my brain, and dip it in disinfectant. It's such horrible, nasty trash that I feel a bit dirty for spending my hard-earned money on something so unpleasant. Which I can see that. Yeah. I can see that.
And I feel like this book is just so unlike, Colleen Hoover has 2 books that I've read of hers that are just so unlike anything I've ever read. Verity being one.
And Layla
being the other one.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't read Layla, I'd recommend it because it's just it's unlike any book you'll ever read, I promise.
I was genuinely spooked.
Like, it's something else, but yeah, I agree with Mikayla. It definitely takes talent to like, and an interesting, weird mind to go from. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I feel like Colleen Hoover always kind of has something disturbing in her books.
Yes.
Like when you think about it, there's always something that's kind of like, in all of her books.
Every book, there's something. You can't escape it.
Sit right. You're like, oh, okay.
No escaping it. Like a plot twist. A plot twist in every book that I don't see coming.
I just saw another review from somebody else that said, this is not a romance or a thriller. This is a Lifetime movie script.
Honestly? Actually? But here's the thing. Speaking of movies, with our cast,
it would be such a good movie.
It would be such a good movie.
So good.
But all the elements with...
I just kind of like, what if you just played it down a little bit and switched a few things?
I just feel like they would have to do a lot of like off-camera stuff, but like assuming what's going on. Yeah. If that making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. People would lose. Oh.
I'm so sorry.
I feel like you couldn't really make, like, this couldn't just be like a Netflix show. It would, the HBO disturbing, too many disturbing elements that like,
they probably just have to get rid of
certain things and like change it instead of like, maybe instead of the hanger, it's more like,
I don't know. Well, that's why I was saying like it's implied, but they don't show it. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Should we say our
fan cast?
Okay, Mikayla's gonna go first.
I'm going first.
Mm-hmm.
I need to find my. Oh, okay. So I have 2 choices for Verity.
Wait, let's go through each character. So you'd like do Verity,
Oh.
Verity.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
will
like
go
that.
through each one.
Love that. I like the idea. I know a lot of people said Blake Lively for their Verity, and I agree with that a lot. I also think Margot Robbie could do a really good job of being Verity. So
I can see that. Especially like Verity when she's dating Jeremy.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh,
also like being kind of a psychopath a little bit. I'm not saying Margot Robbie's a psychopath, but she has
she could
played
play
characters that
plays that well.
Like the spunky side of her when she's like first meeting Jeremy.
yeah.
I actually love that.
Yeah. So
I like that.
Anyways, I also really love the idea of Blake Lively, but I don't know if they do ever make a movie because she's already Lily. So
my Verity was Blake Lively because have you guys seen?
I know what you're gonna. Yes.
yeah. I haven't
Anna
seen
Kendrick.
it, but I've seen like bits and clips from
Kind of
TikTok.
gives me like Verity vibes, just like a little bit. But I really love that Margot Robbie one.
I do love Blake Lively as that. I think she could play the character really well.
But like I kind of love the idea of Margot Robbie.
I do too.
Okay.
Mine was Rosamund Pike, who, if you have seen Gone Girl, why can't I've read the book and I've seen the movie. Why can't I think of the character's name in that book? Anyways, she plays the Gone Girl in Gone Girl. She is very pretty, very
Amy is her name.
Amy, yes. She's very, just like looking at
I did see her.
she just gives like mysterious, I don't know how to explain it, but
Like mysterious psychopath. Like
yeah,
I don't.
but I mean that in like the nicest way possible.
yeah.
Like she would do so well at that, and I also just feel like it reminds me a lot, like from her character in Gone Girl, reminds me a lot of Verity in this book. So
Yep. Dang,
that would be my pick.
I like that one.
those are all good.
Are we doing
Let's do Lowen.
Lowen next? Okay. I had a really hard time picking someone for Lowen. I said Ana de Armas for Lowen.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I just feel like, especially from Knives Out, she can kind of play like that innocent girl, but then also kind of a little bit crazy. So, I don't know. That one was just kind of thrown out there, so I'm not like 100% set on that's who I'd want, but I just could see it. I picture someone with brunette hair. Is she described with brunette hair, or
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Colleen
I
Hoover
think-
does not do a great job at describing
No.
the characters.
I'm pretty sure she's brunette. That's how I pictured her.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
Okay,
Ish.
for my Lowen, I chose Troyan Belisario. She plays Spencer Hastings
oh yeah,
Pretty Little
in
Liars.
Pretty Little Liars. I just
She'd
feel like
be
she
really
kind of
good.
gives like the writer vibe. And spoiler alert for Pretty Little Liars, she also kind of plays a little bit of like a psychopath at the end. So I feel like she could kind of play a little bit like, you know, the scholarly vibe, but also kind of like has a little bit of that like crazy
Yeah.
ness to her, like
can
underneath
see
the
that.
surface, which Lowen has.
I can see that.
But I think
like
if
it.
Reggie says who I think she's gonna say, I think I'm gonna change my mind and go with Reggie's fan cast.
My pick, and it's because I was watching this TV show around the same time. I was in a very disturbed era, I guess, watching You, season 2 or whatever season it was. So Victoria Pedetri, is that how you say her name?
I don't know,
I
but
don't
that
know.
would be a
Pedretti.
good one.
Pedretti. She's the one who she plays Love on You. I just feel like I could just see her playing. If this were to be a movie, she would be perfect. That's like who I pictured from the get-go because I was watching the show while I was reading this book. She just has this like, she's very good at just being very, she's like very, what is the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna have to cut this out while I'm thinking because there's a word on the tip of my tongue.
I could totally see her. I've never seen You, but just from like the little clips, like on I've seen everything on TikTok. I feel like she could She has like a very innocent face.
Yes, innocent, but like sneaky. Like she can have like a side to her.
Yeah. Like looking at her, like, oh, she looks like such a sweet girl. But then like I know from like the clips,
she a freak though.
She a freak.
Yeah.
So like I could totally see that. I think that's a great.
I think I
almost put her too, but I wanted it to be different.
Yeah, I would change mine to her.
If I had to like pick someone else, one other person that came to my mind briefly would be Lily Collins.
Oh, I did see her too.
But
I like
Victoria
better.
I like Victoria better.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's the Jeremy?
I picked Chris Evans.
I knew that's who you were gonna pick. I knew it.
First off, Knives Out once again, and then also the one with is it Ryan Gosling?
Yes.
And the Netflix movie, he plays like the villain.
Yes.
And not saying Jeremy's, I mean he kind of is, but I just think he does such a good job of like, I don't know, I loved him as the villain.
Yes.
He does such a good job, and he had like the flirtatious side in Knives Out, but then he kind of like turned all of a sudden. And I was like, oh, this is good. Anyways, I just really liked him, and he's kind of like a tall, broody guy, which I honestly would be terrified from the bonus chapter. Like, I feel like he'd be good at playing like kind of a terrifying character. So
I kind of feel like Chris Evans is a little bit underrated. I won't get into it, but I love my Captain America. Okay. I actually really like Chris Evans. I think I like that too. Yours. I saw another fan cast, and I'm just gonna put this out there just because why not, to be a little bit different, because I would choose Chris Evans now that we've had this discussion. I went with Chris Pine.
Love him.
After seeing Don't Worry Darling, he's kind of got, he's like got that, like, I don't know, but also he's kind of old.
It would have to be like not maybe Princess Diaries age.
Like younger Chris Pine.
Yeah, like when he's in Into the Woods.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with your fan cast. I like that a lot.
But I feel like younger Chris Pine would have been really good too.
Chris Evans is good though.
Okay, mine, I can't say his name, you guys. The guy who plays the Duke on Bridgerton.
I think it's
Roger Jean Page.
Ronja Pitt.
I don't know how you say his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about.
He would be good.
Because he's like tall, dark, handsome, but I can see him having this like all of a sudden dark side. He would play that so well. Yeah. Because I just picture in Bridgerton, for example, his character is just very like, you know that look in his face that he has in a lot of Bridgerton?
He's like a grumpy.
Yeah, he's kind of like
a grumpy sunshine type of thing.
Yeah. But then when he's, I can just, and he was in that same movie with Chris Evans.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and he plays has an American accent and everything.
Yeah.
He was in that movie?
Yeah, he plays like, he has like glasses.
He's like the smart guy, right?
Yeah. So like I can see him kind of being like that, not like with the glasses, but like picturing him that way. But then all of a sudden, like I just picture like those bonus chapters or like the it's time to kill Verity. Like I can just see him like kind of transform into this like kind of a monster, maybe of a person, where she would be like very intimidated by him possibly and scared of him. So
that is a really good one. I really like that one.
I could also kind of see him playing Ryle.
Ooh.
I could see that.
Speaking of cast, we didn't. But you want to know what? I pictured Justin Baldoni, as Ryle, and it could have been, because this is the thing. I don't know if you guys like when you're reading books, you automatically. At me at least, I picture sometimes the first people to enter my brain are like whatever show I'm watching at the time. So like that's why I picked Victoria as Lowen, because I was watching You at the time. Yeah. I picked Justin Baldoni as Ryle because I had just finished watching Jane the Virgin. Okay. And so I was like, oh yeah, I can see him. Like there was one comment about him being like tall and dark, like darker hair. I could picture him being, I don't know.
The only thing I'm upset about with It Ends With Us.
Yeah, It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us cast is just they're old.
I know.
Yeah.
If they were younger, I would be thrilled. I think it's just they're older. That's the only thing I'm like really upset with. I had a fan cast that I thought was absolutely perfect, so I'm really upset about that. So it's okay. Anyways, back to Verity.
Yeah. Is that all we were gonna say?
I think so. Yeah. Sorry, we just traumatized you.
But it's okay, because our next book, you're going to hear the title of it and you're going to go, oh, really I'm so excited. We are going to be reading, and this is a brand new book that literally is coming out the very end of April. So, Happy Place by Emily Henry.
Yeah. Have either of you read an Emily Henry book?
Yeah, I read Beach
No,
Read.
not yet, but it's like on my list. I really want to. It's just I've been so invested in ACOTAR and Throne of Glass. So after that, I'll be reading those.
I read Beach Read and Book Lovers, and I'm going to read People We Meet on Vacation on my vacation. I really like her books. So I think everyone's going to really like them.
I like her a lot better than Colleen Hoover.
Me too. I think she writes a lot better.
Colleen Hoover's stories are a lot more gripping. Like, they're more like page turner books. Like, they kind of... But I feel like Emily Henry's a lot more descriptive.
Yeah.
Better writing.
I feel like I have a better connection to the characters. They're more... Colleen Hoover's books are just a little dark, and Emily Henry's are just like light, airy, romance.
I honestly don't even know what Happy Place is about. I just trust Emily Henry. So
180 on you.
On the 180, we're gonna read something happy and light, and just get you out of this darkness that Verity puts.
Disinfect your brains.
Yes.
Pull your brain out.
Disinfect it.
And pull that information away.
Yeah. Anyways, if Verity didn't get you guys hooked on reading, if you're a new reader, we hope Happy Place by Emily Henry will. And
absolutely.
Yeah, we're excited.
And follow us on Instagram at What She's Reading Pod, both on Instagram and TikTok. We're kind of lacking on the TikTok department, but we're going to try harder.
Yes, we are.
To make relatable content. And I hope you join us next week. Like and subscribe.
Give us a review if it's nice.
Please be kind.
Please. We're new to this.
Just kidding. If you give us a bad review, we'll read it and laugh. So
she made us read Verity.
Anyways, we'll see you next week.
Bye.